Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Good afternoon, I'm Robin Banks. Welcome to the PODIUM GT-3 Championship 2022. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease and defects. It's a very worthy charity, so we support it all we can, and you can too. Follow the link on the webpage, and any help you give, no matter how small, is extremely helpful. Round 2, and we're in Spain, and the incredible Catalunya circuit located north of Barcelona. The track is a regular attendant for the Formula 1 and MotoGP championships, and also used for a test track. Our drivers will need to be fast and flowing, and as always, a good setup here is absolutely top of the list. The track is 2.9 miles in length with the longest straight of just over half a mile and a total of 16 corners. In round 1, we saw a great challenge from the off with Brian Messiah winning the race and setting fastest lap with Carlos Punterino second on the grid, and Damon Punterino snatching third at the 11th hour due to an unfortunate off by Rico Mortis. Damon also started the race on pole, thus collecting the bonus 5 points. A few drivers retired early and there were some off-track excursions in the mix, and only 12 drivers finished the race. Amongst them was our female driver LIDYA Champagne. Vincent Carrasco has now fully recovered from his ordeal and is, as he said, ready for takeoff. I'll hand you over now to our ex-race driver and technical guru DAMON, who's out in his new Mercedes doing our lap focus. He hasn't come in yet, so I would say he's enjoying himself. How's it going, Dave?
Many thanks, Robin. Here we go for the second round lap focus from Catalunya as we're heading down the main straight towards Elf, emitting speeds of 177 miles per hour 6th gear, and then hard on the brakes, down into Elf, 72 mile an hour 2nd gear, through the right-hander into the left-hander, heavy on the gas and building speed, going around Renault, 96 mile an hour 3rd gear, and then hard on the gas again up to 146 mile per hour 5th gear, up towards Repsol. On the brakes we go, 72 miles an hour 2nd gear around here, hanging on for dear life, building speed up towards Sayat. Down into Sayat, 56 miles an hour 2nd gear. Steady she goes round the corner now on the gas, and now for a really difficult part of the track. It's the left-hander that cuts right in on itself into Worth, 68 mile an hour 2nd gear, coming tight, aim for that sausage, and then up the hill towards Capsa. Into Capsa, 97 mile an hour 3rd gear, hard on the gas all the way down towards Capsa, 152 mile an hour 5th gear before slamming on the brakes, and down to 1st gear, 47 mile an hour around the left-hander, and then back on the gas up towards the bank to Sabadell, 68 mile an hour 2nd gear, trying to hold that line around the corner and then up towards Europcar, 69 mile an hour 2nd gear, clipping the sausage as we go and into the chicane, RAC left and right, and then down towards New Holland. A good exit out of here is absolutely paramount. It sets you up for the straight and heading towards the finish line at 144 mile an hour 5th gear. The guys are going to love this, Robin. It's a great fast-flowing track. See you later. Good luck, guys.
Many thanks, Dave. So let's take a look at our grid lineup today. After a very exciting qualifying session, which was incredibly close, on pole position we have Damon Punterino. In 2nd place, Brian Messiah. In 3rd, Scott Milano. In 4th, Rico Mortis. In 5th, Carlos Punterino. And in 6th, Halen Van Eddy. In 7th, Alex Anders. And 8th, Archie Angelo. And 9th, Wyatt Earp. 10th on the grid for Simon Bouquet. And Artie Fodati in 11th. Fabio Detrelli in 12th. Lydia Champagne in 13th, and rounding out the grid in 14th, is Stu Leboeuf. So as we go down to the track to what promises to be a great race, the weather is clear. It's all systems go for round 2 of the British Heart Foundation PODIUM GT-3 Championship. On board with Artie Fodati, and we're off. Artie gets a great start. A lot of people spinning up on the launch. Halen Van Eddy's banging into what looks like Alex Anders. As we go down towards the first corner, Elf. Archie tries to go on the inside of Rico Mortis. Can he make it stick? Let's Rico have some room. Rico takes contact with Alexander's, his teammate. Around Renault they go for the first time. Holding on to this corner, it seems to go on forever. Alexander's gets the better drive and gets in front of Artie Fenati. Into Repsol they go. Alexander's hanging on to the back of Rico, who in turn is hanging on to the back of Carlos Punterino. Down towards Sayat they go. Into the left-hander. Alexander goes up the inside of his teammate Rico. Can he make it stick? What a lovely move from Alexander's. Beautiful, no contact, absolutely fantastic. Up through Worf, up towards Capsa they go. Scott Milano got a great start. He's following David Punterino in second place, followed by Brian Messiah. Carlos Punterino's in the mix too. Looks like the top six are holding on together and starting to pull a slight gap. Down into Keksa they go, up towards the back to Sabadell. Into Europe car. Down towards the RAC chicane, Halen Vanetti holding on to the back of Wyatt Earp. In they go. Looks like Lydia Champagne's crashed. Let's have a look. Oh, coming out of back to Sabadell on the gas. Very difficult corner. Easily done if you touch the green stuff. She'll be kicking herself for that. She'll pick herself up and get going. Back to the race. Wyatt Earp hammering down the main straight. Trying to get up the inside of Artie Fenati. Oh, it's a drag race down towards Elf. Who's the best on the brakes? Looks like Artie might have yielded a little bit. I'm not sure, but Wyatt is very good on the brakes. Into Elf he goes. Into the left-hander. Goes a little bit wide. Trying to bring it back into Renault. Rico Mortis losing a bit of time on the front five. They're starting to pull away from Rico. Can he hang in there? Got fairly good pace as Rico in practice. Not the fastest of the field, but Archie Angelo goes up the inside of Artie Fenati. What a lovely move. Archie went a little bit wide and Archie capitalized on that. Down into Worf. Very tricky part of the track to get this right. Up into Capsa. Halen Vanetti hanging onto the back of Wyatt Earp. You can see his fingernails clawing the boot. Down into Caxa they go. Halen gets a good drive out of there. Up into the back to Sabadell. Brian Messiah hanging onto the back of Scott Milano. Scott's got good pace. He's very good at Catalonia. Makes that Porsche work quite well. Very good on softs is Scott. Brian's right on the back of him in the slipstream down towards Elf. Brian pops out. Looks like Rico's got up the outside of Alexander's. Alex pops back in behind. Into Elf they go. Can these two work together and stick with the top pack? Rico's pulling away. Scott Milano doing all he can to shake off Brian Messiah, but it ain't happening. Hammering down towards Repsol. Brian's right on the back of Scott Milano. Scott goes a little bit wide. Brian thinks about going up the inside, hasn't quite got the pace. Down towards Sayat they go. Scott takes the defensive line. Brian's right on the back of him with Carlos Punterino in hot pursuit. Rico's also gaining on this pack. He's pulling a bit of a gap between him and Alexander's. Into Worf. Scott goes a little bit wide on the green stuff. Can he get a good run down the straight towards Caxa? David Punterino all the while is pulling away from the front pack. Doing a phenomenal job is David. He was blisteringly fast in qualifying and also very, very fast in practice. Always is David. Superb job. Definitely pulling away from the rest of the field. Down into the RAC chicane and down towards New Holland. Getting a good drive out of that chicane and now around this corner is very, very important indeed. Wyatt Earp banging off the sausages. Down around New Holland. Got Archie Angelo for company. Archie's gonna make full use of that slipstream down towards Elf. Can he make a move on Wyatt Earp, his teammate? Down they go. Not yet. Wyatt and Archie looking very, very smooth in those Lexus. Around Renault they go. Wyatt goes a little bit wide. Stu Liboff heading down towards Elf. Fabio Detrelli not far behind. Stu doing very well. Keeping it smooth. Keep the fig on the grey stuff. Around Renault he goes. Superb blue wheels, says Stu Liboff. Goes down towards Repsol. Hanging it nice and tight, keeping Fabio Detrelli at bay. Back with Archie Angelo. Still chasing Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp's giving him a bit of a flash. Looks like he may be letting Archie through. There he is. Archie flashes him back saying thank you very much. That's the teammates swapping position because one of them's obviously quicker on the pace. And obviously they could gain more points in the team championship by doing that. Very, very clever maneuver. Brian Messiah still hounding Scott Milano. He hasn't had a breath yet. Oh, Scott must be clinging onto that steering wheel like it was his last tenner. One hell of a long straight down here, folks. Very, very good for using the slipstream. Brian looks like taking a move around the outside of Scott Milano, but Scott's on the inside line. There's nowhere for Brian to go. Scott shuts the door. Little bit of contact. Both of them managed to stay sunny side up. Around Renault they go. Down towards Repsol. Brian may make a move around here. Can he go? He's going out wide. Hopefully Scott's going to go out wide on the exit. Brian tries to make a move up the inside. Can he get a move on Scott Milano? Scott shuts the door. Hammering down towards Sayat. Can Brian get around the outside of Scott Milano? He's having a damn good go at it. All the way down the hill towards Worth. Scott holding Brian Messiah at bay. Saying, not today, my friend. Taking that very difficult corner. There's also a sausage there which could upset the car if you hit that too hard. Send you right across into the gravel trap if you're not careful. Down towards Caxa they go. Scott still holding off. All the while, Brian looking for a way through, just waiting for Scott to make a mistake. Come in, Dave. Door's open. Dave Unshaw's just entered the commentary booth. How's it going, Dave? Very well, thank you, Robin. I was just listening to you as I was coming up the stairs, hollering and shouting. I picked up the pace a little bit so I wouldn't miss out. I see Brian is hounding the back of Scott Milano. You can see the whites of Scott's eyes, Dave. Hammering down the main straight. The speed they come down through here is absolutely crazy, folks. And then they're hard on the gas into Elf. It's a really tricky right-hander, and then you've got to sort of hang it into a left-hander, and then you've also got to go out wide to the left and back into the right-hand side and stick on that. You can see that brown line on the track. You've got to stick on that like glue. You do hear a heck of a lot of tyre squeal on that corner, Dave, that's for sure. Brian's trying to go up the inside of Scott Milano. Can he make it stick? Heading down towards Sayat. Scott's still holding him off. Brian almost bangs into the back of him, but he's very, very good at following. I know Rico says to me whenever Brian's up behind, he sort of kind of, I don't know what it is, but Rico says he puts some kind of spell on you. It makes you, but if you make a mistake, it's all your own doing. Doesn't Rico ignore him, or is it just too much? Oh, Rico goes up the inside of Carlos Punterino. What a lovely move down into Caxa. Carlos trying to hang on the back, but Rico's up into fourth place. That was a lovely move, Dave. It was, and Brian did exactly the same thing to Scott. So Brian is now in front of Scott Milano after did literally the identical move to what Rico just did. It's a very good spot there for an overtaking manoeuvre. You get the slipstream down the straight, and then it's just whoever's, if you get up the side of them, it's just whoever's latest on the brakes and makes it stick into the corner. Simon Bouquet following Artie Fanati. Can Simon get a good result this round? We're all hoping he can. I'm quite surprised to see Artie Fanati so far back, to be honest. He's normally a lot further up the field. What do you think of this, Dave? Is it a setup issue, or what do you think? I don't know, to be honest. I would have thought the team are sharing setup data, unless they're going it alone. I really don't know.
Will the driver of vehicle registration number P1LL0CK please remove his vehicle from the car park kiosk so the staff member can exit safely and go to lunch, or it will be removed by crane. I repeat, Papa 1 Lima Lima 0 Charlie Kilo. Thank you.
Blimey, Dave, that sounds like that's one hell of an accident going on there. As Rico Mortis almost spins out, trying to get past Scott Milano, that allows Carlos Punterino back through. Rico will be shaking his fist at that, I would imagine. Rico's dived back up the inside of Carlos. Carlos gets pushed onto the gravel. Rico dives up the inside into the RAC chicane. Still hanging onto the back of Scott Milano. Halen Van Eddie's joining this party too. That was one hell of a move, Dave. That was a great recovery from Rico. He almost pushed Carlos into the gravel trap, mind. It was very sketchy there for a minute. But obviously, you know, when you've overtaken, sometimes you can't see the car coming up beside you. So it's easily done, easily done. Artie Fanati going into the pits. Fabio Di Trilli, we haven't seen him for a little while. Fabio doing very well in this race, got past his teammate Stu LeBoeuf. Fabio is definitely one of the old guard, Dave, that's for sure. We've been doing these championships for quite a while now, and Fabio's been in every one of them. He has. He's also in charge of the championship recruitment agency. He brings in a lot of talent. He's very, very good, is Fabio. Yes, he has found some great drivers, that's for sure. Some stay with us and some don't. Some, don't get on with the settings we have in these championships, and it's a shame. It just takes a bit of time to get used to it, that's all. Rome wasn't built in a day, Dave. You're dead right. Rome was not built in a day. You need to, if you want to stick with this, you've got to put the time in, and you've got to get good. Otherwise, you just as well stay at home, to be honest. Scott Milano now running in first place. He's got Rico Mortis all over the back of him. We're on lap 8. Scott looks like he's losing a bit of grip. He may well pit. Rico's pushing him as hard as he can. Yep, Scott goes into the pits. Knows that's going to end in disaster. Back with Lydia Champagne. Lydia seems to be sticking to it, Dave. She is. It's great to see Lydia still out on track. I know she's still getting used to everything, and you're not going to win this championship in the first go. That's a dead cert. It takes a couple of championships to get used to this, and and start putting in some good results. She is definitely putting in the effort, that's for sure. Great to see. Lovely purple, that Beetle, Dave. It is a lovely colour, isn't it? It really is. Fantastic to see this man still with us. Well, Wyatt's joined for a full championship this time, doing very well too. He's getting there. He is definitely getting there. He is definitely getting quicker, Dave, and he's getting better on these tyres too. It won't be long before he's fighting at the front, I can tell you. He's very quick as Wyatt. Very, very quick indeed. Looks to me like the Lexus is not the easiest car, to drive compared to the others, but these guys are certainly giving it a run, that's for sure. Archie Angelo seems to be doing very well too, Dave. Doing very well indeed. Great to see Archie. I spoke too soon. That must be commentator's curse, folks. Very sorry, Archie. I did not mean that. I hear you, but you are doing very well, and it's great to see you on track. Oh, Robin, that was definitely commentator's curse, that was. He's going to give you a slap when he sees you in a bit. I will definitely wait to open my mouth when they're on a straight bit of road, that's for sure. Stu LeBoeuf being hounded by Simon Bouquet. Simon right on the back of Stu. Can he force him to make a mistake down in Acaxa? Too far away. Stu looks like he's serving a penalty. SIMMON right on the back of him, though. Sliding around the back to Cebadell. Down towards Europe car. And then heading into the RAC chicane. SIMMON pushing Stu all the way. Stu knows he's there. Stu gets a good exit out of the chicane, blocking Bouquet's path. Around they go. Down the main straight. Very, very quick, Dave. They are hitting speeds of almost 180 mile an hour before they hit the brakes down at the bottom just before Elf. Very, very fast indeed. It's also on a bit of a dip as well, Dave. It kind of goes downhill at that last part of the section. It's a lot steeper than it looks, and it's also, you know, you're braking and then trying to get your way into that right-hander, Elf. Yeah, it's great part of track. Rico seems to be doing a great job in 10th place. He hasn't pitted yet, Dave. Back with Brian Messiah and Damon Punterino. Looks like this is hotting up to be one hell of a lap coming up now. Brian is almost on the back of Damon. Damon in 3rd place, and also set the fastest lap of the race so far, and he got pole position. Into the RAC chicane they go. Into the left-hander, smacking those curbs. Accelerating down towards the New Holland corner. Getting a good exit off that chicane is absolutely paramount, Dave. Oh, absolutely. That's that you can get that chicane so wrong if you just hit that. You know, at the wrong angle, it can send you flying into the gravel trap. Brian Messiah desperate to get on the back of his teammate. I know Jack Tup's waiting in the wings, but he'll have to wait for a minute. This is a great part coming up. Rico in 1st place. Damon and Brian are slowly closing on Rico. Rico hasn't pitted. This is lap 11. I would imagine he'd go in now, Dave, surely. We know Rico's good on tyres. Definitely good on tyres. Into Worth. Coming up towards Capsa. Can Rico get back to the pits in time? Comes around that right-hander. Something's wrong, Dave. Rico just drove straight into the barrier. Didn't look like he spat out. Not quite sure what's going on there. And now he's going straight across. Looks like his steering's gone or something. Something is definitely not right there, Dave. That sounded like David and Brian shooting past. Not like a bullet from a gun. Brian and Damon down into Gangsa, up towards the back to Cebadell. Around they go. Brian desperately trying to get around his teammate. Taking a very defensive line indeed. Slowly into the RAC chicane. Damon trying to block those exits, block any kind of way Brian can get around. Damon is so quick out of this New Holland corner, I'll tell you. He really winds it up. He does, but Brian's got the slipstream down the straight. Can he make a move? Almost, he's in the slipstream now, but Damon's very late on the brakes. Lydia Champagne is just up the road. Hopefully she'll see them coming. Damon flying around the right-hander. Bear in mind, these three are all teammates on board with Damon. Punterino hammering around Renault. Lydia Champagne comes across the track and Damon goes straight into the back of her, letting Brian through. My word, there'll be some words in the garage when he gets back, Dave. There probably will, but I don't think that Lydia knew they were coming. She just looked like, to me, she just had an off and was coming back on track. So it looked just like an accident to me. It was just wrong place, wrong time. So let's go down to pit lane and have a quick word with our ex-physical trainer and loquacious guru, Jack Tup. How's it going, Jack? Many thanks, Robin. I've been doing a sport of investigative journalism, and I'm going to play you a recording of a conversation I stumbled upon while I was minding my own business, passing the laboratory, leaning up against the door with a special listening device late at night. Here we go.
Okay, Arthur, run the test. Increase the power to number 5.
Increasing power to number 5. Horsepower's reaching about 500 at the moment. That's a great start, that is, Ansoff.
Increase the power to 7.5.
Increasing to 7.5. Holding steady at 7.5, that's 750 horsepower. Running as smooth as a baby's, that is.
It's working! It's working, Alpha! Turn up the power to full! Let's see what this baby can do!
Are you sure that's safe? It could go bang.
Go to full! Now! Up we go!
Chuffing or it's redlining at 1,000 horsepower. Mark, hang on.
Alpha! Something is wrong! The straps are about to break! Shut it down immediately!
We can't shut it down immediately. We gotta slow down first, for Christ's sake. It's hanging off the chuffing side. Look out!
Ah!
Chuffing hell, it's gonna backfire.
That was a close one! In order for this to work properly and go undetected, we have to work on more secure and longest lasting straps. Alpha, you truly are a genius! Well done!
Well, thank you, Ansoff. And yes, I agree about the straps, but for such a small device, I had no idea the power would be so incredible. Any suggestions regarding a name for this prototype yet, Ansoff?
We should call this incredible piece of engineering the Strap-on. Rico will be ecstatic when he gets his hands on this. It is, how they say, the game changer.
There you have it, Robin. I knew there was something weird going on down in that lab. Back to you. Many thanks, Jack. I tell you what, Dave, he's getting very good at skulking around that laboratory. I did hear on the grapevine that, I'll tell you, there's some peculiar goings on down there to try and help Rico win this championship. It ain't ready yet, but when it comes out, God help them. Are you sure that's within race regulations, Dave? I don't think Rico really cares about race regulations. He wants this championship title. In the, he still wants to be the podium champion. So as we're on lap 14 and Archie Angelo is trying to go around Artie Fedati. Haven't seen a lot of Artie Fedati this race, Dave. He seems to be struggling a bit with his Porsche. He is struggling a little bit, but don't forget we got Brands Hatch coming up next week. And I bet you 10 a penny he will be ready for that as Archie makes a lovely dive up the inside of Artie Fedati, leaving him for dust. Look at that, and he even flashes his lights. Archie's coming good. I know when he pulls up in the pits with his tyres that are like jelly, his pit crew are like, holy crap, why didn't you come in earlier? Archie's having none of it. He makes these ones last, I tell you that, Dave. I saw his pit crew take the tyres off Archie's car, and by the time they put the new ones back on, the old ones have fell to bits. There was wires springing out and bits of rubber flying off. They were literally screaming for mercy. He does get the most out of a set of tyres, that's for sure. I would imagine he must be paying the bill, I would have thought. I should think he is paying the bill, the amount of money, the amount of use he gets out of those tyres, because if he weren't paying for it, he'd have them changed a lot sooner than that. Yes, there is a lot of money involved in running these teams, people. It really, really is an expensive job, an expensive game for these teams. They ship all around the world and get these cars in peak condition, and the drivers need paying as well. I do know, Robin, that Carlos Punterino is one of the most highly paid drivers on this grid. Really, Dave? I would have expected that, to be honest. He's, won a few championships now. He would be a hot property, that's for sure. How much money does he get paid for all his hard work? Well, someone told me that at the end of a championship, Carlos will literally rake in at least £5. Blimey, that is a hell of a lot more than a lot of the other drivers get paid, that's for sure. £5. That is mega money in this championship, I tell you. And he banks it, every time, and he's now almost got £15 altogether, apparently. Blimey, Dave, he really does look after his money. It's good to see, though. Scott Milano currently running in first place, doing an absolute phenomenal job for Sky Sports, aka Affinity Racing. Great to see Scott in this championship, Dave. It really is a pleasure to watch Scott. Really nice bloke, Robin too. He's yeah, very much a part of these championships. Hope he stays with us for many championships to come, as we feel with all these drivers. We've got kind of a bit of a circus going on now, and you know, it's nice that they all race well together. And we also get new blood coming in as well, which is nice. Halen Van Eddy hammering down the main straight. Back with Rico. He must have pitted. He has. He's obviously had his steering repaired, and he's on the back of Archie Angelo, hammering down towards the Elf corner. Chooses that outside line to put him on the inside into the next corner. Archie says, "Nice try, Rico, but not today." Rico trying to get that drive around Renault. Can he get it down towards Repsol? Goes out wide again. Hopefully Archie will go wide into the corner and Rico will be able to cut around on the inside. I know what these plots are like now, Dave. I've seen many of them. You try and set yourself up. You see what the other car's doing and you try and do something different, because you know, like this then, if he goes wide, you can go out wide to start with. He'll go in tight, come out wide, and you can come out of it tight as well. So you can kind of get them on a cutback, if you know what I mean. It is a fantastic manoeuvre to see, I must admit. Down the main straight, Archie and Rico, both Rico clutching that gravel trap, kicking up the dirt. Rico's just gone through there already. Rico outbreaks Archie Angelo down into Cakeso. Lovely manoeuvre. Can Archie stick with him? Up towards the back to Sabadell. Rico pulling a little bit of a gap now. Archie sliding around a little bit. His tyres must be almost knackered again, Dave, I should think. Speaking of sliding around, Alex Anders looked like he was sliding around the Elf corner there. That was great. Lovely to watch. You'd be sliding around as well if you'd got Brian Messiah for company. Down they go towards Repsol. Brian catching up with Alex Anders. Alex must be almost on worn tyres, I would think, and Brian is almost on him now, in towards Sayat. Into the left-hander they go. Brian's right on the back of Alex Anders. Can he get up the inside? Alex goes a little bit wide. Brian goes up the inside. He makes contact. Nothing major. Nobody crashed. Alex clinging onto the back, but I think it might be futile. Up the hill, Alex Anders clinging on for all he's got to the back of Brian, but I would say Brian's on fresh tyres, Dave. I didn't see when Brian pitted. I weren't really looking, to be honest, but I would imagine that would be the case. Flying around there, Brian was. He had some serious pace on Alex. Back with Artie Fedati, still running in 10th place. Seems to be really struggling. I'm sure, like Dave says, he will be back in the fight at Brands Hatch. That was one hell of a scrap him and Brian had in the GT-3 World Cup, Dave. That was brilliant. That was one brilliant scrap they had on those last couple of laps of Brands Hatch in the GT-3 World Cup. My word, they really did put on a good show. Fans absolutely loved it. The place was on fire. It was definitely, you could feel the atmosphere just raise. It was incredible stuff. Carlos Punterino running a very quiet race, but doing a great job at the same time. Running in first place. Looks like he may well have Brian Messiah for company, though, and Brian's on fairly good tyres. I think Carlos has only pitted once, Dave. Carlos pitted on lap 10, for what I could see. I don't think he's gone in again. He may well be maybe going on a one-stop. And that's what Rico was doing, but definitely had problems with his steering when he just went straight on at that, on Capsa. Brian Messiah almost on the back of Carlos Punterino now. Lap 18. Can Brian get him around the back to Sabadell and into Europe car? Almost with him now. Carlos will know he's coming. Be trying all he can to hold him off, but I don't think he will. Brian sliding around by the Europe car into the RAC chicane, banging into those sausages. Trying to get a good run down the main straight. He's in the slipstream. Can he make a move on Carlos? Side by side they go, a drag race. all the way down towards the Elf corner. Brian will have better tyres, so he'll probably benefit most on the brakes. Yep, definitely slingshots himself into that right-hander of Elf corner and straight into the left-hander, then out to the left-hand side and back to the right-hand side very quickly. Lovely manoeuvre by Brian Messiah, very well executed. David Punterino also off.
Will the driver of registration number P1LL0CK please, for God's sake, man, can you remove your car from the car park kiosk? The attendant desperately needs the loo. Thank you.
That guy always seems to pop up, Dave, when it starts to get exciting. Drives me round a twist. Anyway, folks, I'm going back down to the pit lane to watch them come over the line. Thanks for having me. I'll see you next week at Brands Hatch. Bye-zy bye. Take care, Dave. Always a pleasure having Dave Earnshaw in a commentary booth. Very, very good friend of mine. So we're in the final closing laps of the race, folks. Halen Van Eddy in 4th place. That will be a great result for Halen if he brings it home. Absolutely stunning job from Team Simitech. Really got these Beetles doing a great job. Halen will know that Scott Milano is slowly gaining on him. Halen doing a great job. Not quite such a dramatic jump over those sausages as his teammates, but definitely a good maneuver. Archie Angelo losing a bit of traction. Coming into the back to Sabadell. Him and Wyatt Earn having a bit of a kerfuffle. Archie losing grip all over. Looks like Wyatt's struggling too. Down they go into the RAC chicane, into the left-hander. Archie comes around the corner, spins right out. Oh, Wyatt narrowly misses Archie Angelo. Wyatt's gone, but poor old Archie, he really slapped that sausage and sent himself into a spin. Scott Milano's almost on the back of Halen Van Eddy now. Closing up big time. Hammering into Sayat. Halen doing all he can to hold Scott off, but Scott's definitely gaining ground. It's also the penultimate lap. Can Scott snatch that 4th place from Halen Van Eddy in the final few laps? Halen goes wide onto the grass. That allows Scott Milano through. Halen will be kicking himself for that mistake. Very easy done coming into Worth. It's a real tricky corner, there's no doubt about that. Slamming on the brakes into the left-hander. David Punterino on the back of his cousin, Carlos. Into Europe car and down towards the RAC chicane. Carlos struggling a little bit for grip by the look of it. So's Damon. Sliding around, coming out of that chicane. I think he slapped the sausage a bit too hard. Gets a lovely run round New Holland, though. Damon and Carlos having a drag race down the Vandermeer straight on the final lap of the race. Down towards Elf corner. Can Damon get him on the brakes into Elf? Carlos is still late on the brakes than Damon, but Damon's got the inside line. And obviously better grip by the look of it. Carlos struggling a little bit in this last lap. Can he bring it home, though? Do not spin out, Mr. Punterino. Damon doing what he does, the last few lap dash. Hammering into Repsol with Carlos Punterino on your tail. Scott Milano trying to catch at the back of Carlos Punterino. Can he make it happen? There's only half a lap to go, folks. If I know Scott Milano, he'll be doing all he can to try and get on the back of Carlos. If he's got the grip, it may well be possible. We'll have to wait and see. Not too much longer now. Around the right-hander and down that long straight towards Kangsa. The last few corners away. Brian Messiah looks like he may well take the win. He's up the road. Damon's in second. Scott Milano's almost on the back of Carlos. Round the back to Sabadell. Scott goes up the inside. Gets him into a Europe car. Can he hold it through the chicane? Carlos still trying to fight back. Scott Milano hanging on for dear life. Gets a good exit out the chicane. Around New Holland. Brian Messiah takes the win. Damon Punterino in second. Scott Milano in third, Carlos Punterino fourth, and Halen Van Eddy in fifth place. What a brilliant result for Team Simitech. Rico Mortis brings it home in sixth. Not a bad result, Rico. Alexander's in seventh place. Wyatt Earth brings it home in eighth. Lovely top 10 finish for Wyatt. Archie Angelo, still hanging on to those lumps of jelly under him, brings it home in ninth place. With Artie Fanati in 10th. Simon Bouquet takes 11th place. Well done, Simon. And it looks like Stu LeBoeuf and Lydia Champagne are a lap down, but Fabio Dotrelli brings it over the line in 12th. So let's have a quick recap of the race results. In first place, Brian Messiah. In second, Damon Punterino. In third place, Scott Milano. Fourth, Carlos Punterino. And fifth, Halen Van Eddy. Sixth, Rico Mortis. Seventh, Alex Elders. And eighth, Wyatt Earth. Ninth, Archie Angelo. And 10th, Artie Fanati, with Simon Bouquet in 11th and Fabio Dotrelli in 12th. 13th for Stu LeBoeuf and Lydia Champagne in 14th. Ken Glock quit the championship and Vincent Carrasco did not race. So let's take a look at the podium. Congratulations to Brian Messiah for another fantastic win, with Damon Punterino in second place and a brilliant third place for Scott Milano. So let's take a look at the championship results so far. In first place, we have Brian Messiah on 55 points, with Damon Punterino on 51 points and Carlos Punterino on 33 points. Scott Milano with 27 points and Rico Mortis on 23. Halen Van Eddy on 20 points and Archie Angelo on 17. Wyatt Earth 16, Artie Fanati on 13, Simon Bouquet on 11 and Fabio Dotrelli on 9 points. Alexander's also on 9 points and Lydia Champagne on 6 points, with Stu LeBoeuf on 3 points. So let's take a look at the team championship so far, with Team Simitech with a whopping 112 points in first place, with Team Alien on 66 points, and Sky Sports on 52, and Rizzler in fourth place with 43 points. Well, that's it, folks. Next week we broadcast from Brands Hatch in the UK for round 3. So from me and Dave and the team, thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.